Okay. Um, with women being more active in the workplace, right? And women being able to take care of themselves more and being more independent and all that, is there a place, you know what I'm saying? Like how is how is a man supposed to like with the way that we're currently raising men, how is he supposed to be fit in with that? You know what I mean? Because the traditional role is the man's supposed to take care of you, but if you're taking care of yourself already, like he's not taught to be a partner, he's taught to provide. And if you're
Right.
already taking care of yourself, what is
Hmm.
he supposed to do now? Like where do we
I
get
want to
how do
jump
we
on that.
how do we get the
I
man
want to
how do
jump
we
on
get the
that.
man from provider to being a partner? Or
Right.
He can still provide.
or
Exactly.
do we no no
You
no
can
but
still
He's
no
like,
provide, but I want
I
to.
can quit right now.
no but if you're literally taking care of everything and he's like, oh, can I help you with this? Can I help? It can be
That's
small
not
or
how it
big.
works. That's not
No,
how it works. Though. So look. I might be
no,
single and I might pay for everything, but that's because I'm single.
No.
That does not mean that when I meet a man, I don't want him to come in and take care of me. Like, no, that just means I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as a
But
single woman. I gotta pay my
I
shit. I gotta take care of my stuff. Like, what?
but
I think what he's saying is men don't know where they fit in. If you're already taking care of yourself,
exactly.
how do they
mhm,
fit into your life if you don't need
exactly.
anything from them?
Right.
So like we
Well, I
said earlier, men have to have a purpose. They have to feel the purpose of being a provider for you. But
I
that
understand,
I
Yeah,
think
but
emotional
that's
as a
where
woman,
support. That's
women
where I'll be.
women know how to make you. Well,
make you
women who are in
feel
touch with
like
their
a
femininity,
provider.
they know how to make you feel needed
Right.
and fit in their life. I don't think that has anything to do with money and taking care of bills. I don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does, and there's a
Agreed.
lot of women who, since they're able
Statistically,
to
it
do
is.
everything on their own, they don't know how to take a step back to let someone be in and make someone feel needed,
Absolutely.
or actually, or
I
also
have
be a
met
partner.
some females
So,
like
Absolutely.
that that are
I
very
think
headed.
that question goes both ways. It goes for men and women. How do you go from being independent to being a partner?
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Being
I would like to
interdependent.
enter that. Actually, so in all of my relationships, I've always been the breadwinner. I've always paid. Like I pay for the bills. That was me because I was making most of the money. I'm a woman of practicality and not necessarily like I don't. I'm very non-traditional in a lot of different ways. But the
Hi,
whole
Heather and
the
Frankie.
man. Hi, Frankie. But having, I love you already. Okay, so as far as like when it comes to like a man providing and all that, like I literally lived not having that. Like I was married and I did not have my man pay for everything. Like I been through that, so I know what that looks like. So when I became single and stuff, my biggest dilemma was letting the man do that, and like it was very uncomfortable. It was extremely uncomfortable and very hard for me to get used to. And I realized that it was becoming a problem because most Black men definitely want to be the provider, and like that's kind of their role. And then I kept also finding myself in the position like, I don't really need you for anything, so I don't know why you're talking to me. Like I can do this, I got this. And then men are like, oh yeah, I can give you good day. And I'm like, there's like 50 people who are offering me that. So what makes you different from? So I was having an issue. No, but for real though, like I was having an issue because I was like, so, and then that's what I wanted to say earlier about Mariah saying, when you mentioned feminine and masculine energy. Sorry to come back to that topic, but basically I just learned that I
Full
needed
circle.
to, yeah, it is full circle because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm having an issue because I'm a go-getter and I'm a bag chaser. Like that's what I do. Like I'm a hustler, but I learned that from my
Yes, ma'am.
father because that's how I was raised. So now I'm like, okay, I'm in a position where I pretty much am the man in the relationship. And well,
She's
yeah,
like, call
it
me
doesn't leave
daddy.
room for him. So it doesn't leave room for him. So I just feel like, as far as that's concerned, Byron, I wanted to answer your question. As far as that's concerned, really, it just me knowing that about myself, I feel like I don't think it's a conversation starter. It's not something I would say on the first date per se, but I do think that I feel like it's pretty obvious. Like when men talk to me, they're already like, oh. And then when I talk about my goals and things, they're like, okay, yeah, you're gonna be single for a while, or you don't
Damn.
see the
It's
the purpose
Fine.
of a man, and which I really did not, and that's probably why like I've been single for a minute because like I still am just kind of like, But it's just having the conversation, because where he can be needed, like, I mean, where he can provide in some kind of way, like you were saying, Shar, like, it doesn't have to be financially, because for me,
Exactly.
I know good and damn well I'm gonna be good on that. I don't ever
Yeah.
need a man for money at all. So, and I mean, I'm not trying to be hyper independent, but it's just like I'm always gonna have myself in a position where the man doesn't have to do that if he doesn't want to. Now, if he wants to, then I think it's important, when we were talking about, compromise, like letting that be done. Like, okay, like if the man wants to do that, let him do that. And then anywhere else he wants to, serve and be, fulfill his role as your partner, I think that's very important. But that's going to be something that there's not going to be a one all be all for that. It's going to be a personal decision amongst whoever is dating whoever, because it's their preference.
Because listen, I'm tired of taking this trash out. I'm tired of putting this furniture together. I'm tired of pumping my gas. I'm 100%.
I don't want to do that either.
I was told I was too independent. And I was like,
me too.
What? So I was very right. I was raised to be self-sufficient. And in the military women, we know how to do shit. Like, we just know how to do shit. But I have learned that I do have to ease them into helping me. I'll be like, oh, my trash has been taken out. Or I had one point where I didn't necessarily fake a flat tire, but like my check engine light came on and I knew what was wrong with my car. I knew how to fix it. I knew, but I was like, let me see if he's going to be like, let me just see what he's going to do with it. And right, so I called him. I was like, my check engine light's on. I don't know what's going on with my car. I act like a damsel in distress. God. He came running. He was so happy, and I was like, right, like he was like, yes, like I could tell, like he felt like a little kid, like a little boy, like pleasing his mother. I was just like,
and this is what I'm talking about right here. This right here is showing them you need them without needing money.
Wow.
Like,
right, but the provider extreme. Part. I'm trying to be like Lori Harvey. I'm trying to be taking out on dates. I want you to vacation me, okay?
Right.
You do have to submit, and you do have to allow them to provide.
Well, I think it's just, for me, it's the thought, and because I know my mom. I think Smooth's met my mom. My mom's freaking hyper independent, more so than anything. But. And she has her crap together, and she makes it like she doesn't need my dad, she doesn't need me, she doesn't need whatever like that. She is, my mom. That's my mom. But it's also it's accepting what my dad does too. Because my mom, she makes more money. She's a breadwinner. She does this like that too. So she's like, I got this on lock. And then so now it became a thing where my dad's like, all right, I'm saving everything else. I'm not spending. I'm saving. So then once a year or twice a year, I'm taking you somewhere. So every year they go out to freaking.
That's perfect.
So they go to Italy. They go freaking. They were supposed to go to Spain, but the pandemic happened. They went to the Bahamas. They go on cruises. They go on everything. So I think it's also the intent, because I think even if you have someone that's hyper independent, you if you're willing to, you'll find a way to make it work, to ease in and to say, hey, I know you don't need me. I want you to feel special. And sometimes it's not about the financials. It's like, hey, I'm planning this for you. I'm planning this for you. So I can show you that, I want to be with you. I want to spend time with you. I want to be there for you in a certain way, and let you unwind and let someone take care of you for a little bit, even if it's just for, 23 hours, you're your own person for this 1 hour. I got you.
Yes, but I feel like Black women have to be hyper independent. Like if you look at all the demographics, right? Asian, white women, Hispanic women, right? And you put Black women on the spectrum, like we have had to live without our men. Like this goes back to, we were talking about systematically, like you go back to slavery, like our men were being lynched and they were being taken out of the house because of housing and all that. So like we had to become independent, and in result we had to become hyper independent. But if you look at the other demographics, like white women never had to go without their men. They never had. So they're very submissive. They are taken care of. Asian women are very independent. I'm not trying to be like stereotypical or generalized, but I was watching this video and there was a woman, she has a degree, like she was a lawyer, but she was a stay-at-home wife. And it was just like in the way that she conducted herself, she didn't make herself seem so independent. Although she had the resource, she had the money, she had the access to take care of herself, but because of how she I don't have the right words to I can't even explain what I'm trying to say. No, the way like she presented herself to the guy that she was dating, she made herself seem like oh yeah, like you can take care of me. She's a stay-at-home wife, but even though she could take care of herself, like these are just I can't get my words out. But what I'm saying is but Black women are the most successful, like we are the most successful demographic as far as like education. The most educated, the most money, and so, and
that
then
just made
you
me
say
feel
like,
so good,
right. But I want to be taken care of. Like I want to be taken care of. Like, I want to be.
But that's the thing where you have to allow someone to take care of you as well too, and you also have to vocalize it as well too. Because I know even from dating other people too, because I said I'm attracted to people who can take care of themselves. Because I know and maybe that's. Maybe because of my mom, maybe it's because of my family, maybe it's because of what I've seen. No one's getting a free ride off of me, and that's the way it is. And I find if you're able to have yourself together, to me that's extremely sexy.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that too, Frankie.
But then
like,
Frank. But then it's kind of hard when you're all together like that too. And kind of like what Heather said, it's kind of hard for me to get in when you're used to doing X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And then sometimes it makes her feel uncomfortable. But that's where we need to work together and vocalize it. But then I sit down and say, hey, I know you're able to do all this. I know you don't need me. I want to do this because I care about you.
Yeah.
Right.
And
then be like, okay.
What Dr. Neil said too, we have to have that conversation.
Yeah.
To be like, to be what's okay. Yeah. But I guess to go back to Smooth's original thing too, like with in the workplace, women being active in the workplace, it's something that it's been happening for a while, and eventually, whether they're forced or not, we're gonna have to we're gonna get used to it. We're gonna get used to it, and we're gonna fix it, because as more women are able to pretty much, take care of themselves and or they're able to speak up and have their voice and saying this is what I need, and they're comfortable with saying, hey, I'm able to do this, but I want to be taken care of in certain ways. It doesn't have to be financially. It doesn't have to be with all the bills, because depending on where you live, like what Heather said, sometimes it's impractical to be like, hey, guess what? Because I live in LA with my salary right now, and especially if we're in two different households, I cannot freaking pay for myself, my two dogs, everything that I need, drive to work. My dogs are important. So a lot of times when we're just getting together, they're more important than you, and then pay for everything for you two at your place as well too, and come up with everything that you need. So that's just not practical. But that's a conversation that we have, and maybe that's part of the reason why I'm attracted to people who have their crap together. Go ahead.
Very well put, Frank. Very well put.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So for me, like I can also like get behind that. I do find it like a huge turnoff for me. Like going on first dates and like getting to know somebody, because one of my first questions, which I also find like a really good conversation starter, is like, what are your goals? What are you into? What are you doing? What are your hobbies? Like those are the kind of questions I want to ask, because like I feel like I learn a lot from those questions very specifically. Those are my go-tos. And I've found, along with those questions, is that like I get super unattracted. I turn off whenever I hear that they ain't got nothing going on, or they don't think of anything at all, or they don't have a reply. There's no dream job or nothing, and like there's no ambition there. And I can find I've honestly like ended dates early because of that, and like they because like it wasn't like I just left, but it was just like mentally I had checked out.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
Because like I was just like I enjoy a bit of competition. I like cheering you on. I like being cheered on myself. I like somebody going after something big and bold and handling things.
Yeah.
Like that's what I am like. The last girl I was dating, like she wanted to be chief of the Air Force, and that is what drew me to
Holy shit.
her. And like I had already
That's a
started
20.
planning the next date because I wanted to learn so much more about that and how she was going to obtain that and what she was going for. Me personally, I had already told her that I didn't want to continue the military life. And she was okay with that, and which made me even more attracted to her, that she was supporting my goals already, and she had just met me, that and my pursuit of being a PTA. Like that's what I'm here for. That's what I want to be able to do. I want you to be independent. I want you to be handling your shit because I'm handling my shit too. I can't be taking care of somebody else all the time. I got shit going on. Like shit just happened, but I will be there for you for your goals, and when shit hits the fan, I will drop shit to make sure you're doing okay because everybody has those little pitfalls. Oh, sometimes I'm just feeling sad. I don't know why, but I'm just sad. I'm crying a little bit. I'm not feeling myself. But like to have a female there to kind of like cheer me up, just kind of like listen to me vent or something. That feels good. I regularly go to work, make shit happen, but sometimes I'm just trying to chill and relax and just chat shit.
Yeah.
But that's
What do you think, Smooth? Like, do you think that men can find a purpose while dating a woman that's independent?
I am my purpose.
I don't need you.
I don't need you.
Hold on. We're just gonna switch. Okay, I'm
so I think men can find. Oh, sorry.
wait.
I've been putting my smooth voice.
Right. So no. So I think yes, they can. We can find a place to exist because we're talking like in this space like our mindsets are kind of the norm in a way. Like the way we've had this conversation, we've talked about it kind of like we're the norm, what we're not. Like people are really out there like struggling with this. Like there's no point of entry for some men are so stonewalled. There's no point of entry for the woman to come in, and there's men that are trying to enter a woman's life, and there's no point of entry for them because she's so independent. And it's about finding that balance for people to actually meet up and start the car, like I was using the example before, because they're meeting up and they're standing outside the car, but they're not going anywhere because once they're fighting over the driver's seat. Honestly, like today's society, majority of people are fighting over the driver's seat. Nobody wants to be driven anywhere anymore.
I don't think we're the norm. I just think that we're just willing to communicate, which is what we hit on.
Right.
I mean, I
agree. I agree.
But what I'm saying is that I'm trying to like steer this back towards society. Like, what can we do for them? We seem to be able to communicate. We
They need to
be able
communicate.
like, okay.
Tell them like, comment, and subscribe.
That's a start.
Listen to us.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm screaming. That's hilarious.
Right. That's a start for them, but at the
How
same
to
time,
answer that as a whole for society?
huh?
I don't know how to answer the question for society as a whole. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to come up with a solution for society as a whole. I'm just saying like I was just saying like I'm not saying we got to do it now. We've already had the conversation. But what I'm saying is like steering the conversation towards the norm, what the normalcy, like what the bell curve that in the middle, that is the bell curve, like that 50% of people that are struggling out there, what can we do for them? You know what I'm saying? Because how do we make them intermingle? Because it's not going to work through monogamy, you know what I'm saying? And it's not going to work through the traditional roles that have been set up. You know what I'm saying? We've had to find a way to bring the women back from a little closer back from independency, but yet have the men be accepting enough to let the woman be independent enough to do her own thing as well. Like bringing them back together is the solution. But how to move each party closer without breaking the mold, you know what I'm saying, without breaking them, is something that I'm constantly thinking about. And that's why I had this additional question. Because yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes,
Hopefully I'm
Dr.
not cutting
L.
you off.
DL.
Dr. L
Wait,
too.
wait,
Yeah.
wait, wait. So Larry, and then Dr. DL.
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
So
My thing is lagging. Sorry.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, Larry, you good. You're good. You're good.
I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say.
Okay. I think the way these roles can work or has worked because my wife is very independent too, and she told me straight up. She told me straight up a long time ago. I was acting up. I was a little bit too masculine. And she told me straight up, like, "Hey, yo, look here. You may be in the military. You may be
Yeah.
able all these things. I will walk away from you. I will do my own thing. And I've been independent my entire life. Chill out." And I'm like, all right, I understand that. So it definitely falls down to um, independence is really a thing too, but I think it really falls down to I think everybody's hitting on the same key piece. Maybe it's just me, but I definitely find that communication is one of the main major keys I've definitely seen that this type of thing in society can work. If you talk about like,
Yeah.
hey, what works for me, what works for you, the woman may be the mainstream bread maker, but the man can definitely say like, or whoever is like the submissive or just the other piece of the partnership is like, hey, I can take care of all the bills, but you just make sure like, hey, if something's broken, make sure you call the repairman, or hey, my car has a flat tire, something like that. Can you please make sure like, hey, can you find somebody to
Yeah.
replace the tire? You can do it because the things that I know I can't have access to, I know that he or she can do it too, and that's what I definitely see like communicate flaws. And I love the analogy that you used about like nobody wants to get into the job, nobody wants to be driven because it's like no one wants to give up their position of like I want to feel like their level or their plateau of like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I did this all on my own. Nobody should be taking these reins from me. But I'm like, sometimes you kind of gotta like do that in order for a relationship to function because there's,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to terms of love, or just being in a relationship, you definitely gotta have that give and take because I know that there's just some things that I don't have the strength to, or the power to, or I just absolutely cannot do it that my
Hmm.
partner can, and vice
Yeah.
versa. I know there's some things that she can't do that I can do. Not to say that you can't do a period, but it's just like okay, it might be more convenient or it might be more beneficial if you can do it. That can help, but the only way it can help is if you communicate that or you express that for sure. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. It might not be everybody's, but I definitely feel like it can work. But it's just like my biggest problem was a lot of people's problem is just opening your mouth and like, hey, can you help me with this? And I struggle with that sometimes. And I know I'm not the only one. That's where therapy comes
Yeah. Definitely struggle with that too. I got Superwoman syndrome. Yeah. It's pretty bad. And so now I'm like, okay, like if I know I could use some help in certain areas, then yeah. And it helps. Like people, it's a natural human desire. And sorry, Dr. Diaz, I swear I'm gonna let you speak next. But yeah, like people, it's a natural human desire to want to be needed. Like people like that. People want that, to feel like they're,
Yeah.
like doing something that nobody else can do for you. And I think that's really important. That's an important piece of a relationship to have, like, but you can't know what that is or what that looks like if you don't talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dr. DL, go ahead, my man.
So you
Sorry.
all have said a couple of things, and language is really important to me. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what it means to be independent, and I surely don't know what it means to be hyper independent, right? Because
Mm.
of all the things, when I hear independent, I think of adulting, right? As an adult, here come the things that you have to be doing because you're a goddamn adult. And period, right? And so when we throw these adulting into relationships, then and especially when we get into these ideas of gender and all this other kind of stuff, that the thing that I want to stop doing adulting are the things that I can't stand as the adult, right? I don't, so like, so, and this might be the reason why I'm single, right? And so So when a woman says, "I want you to take out the trash," well, I don't want to be your goddamn trash man, right? Pay somebody for that, right? That ain't what, like whoever put the last piece of trash in, goddamn it, take it out because we both got hands. Goddamn, take it out.
Practicality, right? Yeah.
Right. And so, but this is the reason why I'm single, right? And so, I don't want, like, I don't do yard work. Period. That's not my thing. Right. And so you want the yard to be edged and all this other kind of stuff. I got asthma. I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna pay somebody to do it.
I'm gonna leave it at mode. It can be good.
He said I got asthma.
Right. I'm not gonna cough up a storm to prove to you that I can cut some goddamn grass. No. Somebody that like doing it, let's go ahead and hire somebody to do it, right?
You be like some 16-year-old down the street. He needs $20. He can handle it.
Right. Well, I guess if you're a homeowner, you won't want somebody a little bit more.
Fair enough.
Manicure, right?
Yeah. I only learned about that kind of stuff recently. I forget.
So, but my point is like this idea of adulting, especially when we apply it to women, right? How often do we hear a man saying, "I'm independent"?
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's my point. That's my point.
Yeah,
they didn't have to say that.
Right, because
it's expected. It's expected.
Right, I think it's expected of all goddamn adults, right? And so to get back to the question,
you would be surprised.
Ought to be. Right.
Some people are entitled.
No, I know guys who aren't independent at all.
And that's where society goes in, because then all of a sudden the idea that certain adulting events like cooking, doing laundry, doing dishes, doing basic goddamn things.
Right.
Kind of like doing dishes. Not gonna lie.
Well, that's why they invented dishwashers, right? And so, but if that's
I don't even use it.
So when we apply this to, specifically to women, it then saying being the adult that you should be is seen as a negative and a reason for me not to goddamn date you, because you are a fucking adult, right? And you're acting as if you're an adult. And so, so we can have full conversations about roles that we want to be fulfilled in the house, and how we can partner in this household. But the idea that she has to be less than for me to be something is highly problematic.
Very.
Like you said earlier, like gender roles, we tag these titles on things that are unnecessary.
Right.
So when I said I was like, why is me paying all my bills looked at negatively? Like, why is that a big deal that I'm an independent her rate pays her? Like, why I don't understand that what he's saying right now. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I didn't catch it earlier, but you were absolutely right. You did say that earlier.
Yeah. Well, and then when we look at financially, right? I'm a professor. I work at a state institution. I can barely take care of my goddamn self. So I clearly am not gonna bring in enough money to take care of a whole nother grown human being that brought her own goddamn bills.
So I was saying earlier, I don't want to have to take care of another person. You grown.
Right. And so this idea, this ideal of what all of that is, and I hate to say it, in the history of humans, marrying for love historically is a new concept. And that's the reason why it's fouling up so goddamn much. Historically, it's not, right? Like, and we don't really want to get into pedophilia and all the other kind of stuff, especially when you go back into the Bible and all that. But let's actually deal with this process, because when does a girl become a woman? When she get a menstrual cycle. And so when you find out that when she becomes a woman, she then is being basically sold off historically to some adult man who can take care of her. We've then passed on this idea that is the role. But if we gave up our 13-year-old daughter to a 30-year-old man, what would we call that at this point?
Pedophilia.
Right? And so when you look at the marriage process, even to this day, the father is supposed to give her to the husband. This goes back to when people were nomadic and they wanted their little girl to be taken care of, because when we were nomadic and farming and all this other kind of stuff, we thought because of sexism, we thought women weren't able to take care of themselves and that they need to be taken care of. And I can't, and then as a father, I don't want to take care of them for the rest of their lives. And then we're going to teach the boys how to go out and be independent. And in this aspect is still within our society. And then we throw in this concept of love on top of that, where because when we historically for thousands of years, the father made the goddamn decision and gave away the daughter to somebody, and that's across all types of cultures. That's African culture, that's European cultures, and that's indigenous cultures in the Americas and in Asia, right? Where you have this patriarchy that went, the oldest ism is sexism, right? And so we've taken that in that idea into the 21st century without thought, and we've accepted it as the norm, on that a woman must be taken care of by some man, and that being taken care of comes in economic spaces. It comes in especially physical spaces of like, you know, yard work, mechanics, trash, fighting, or protection, and all this. And so anyhow, so that's what was on my mind, because when we talk about independence, to me as a historian, it makes me think about the past and how do we get to that idea, and how that idea has evolved without changing once it's introduced to these new ideas.
Right. And then just to kind of just to wrap, and then we didn't even really get into, because I don't know, but I'm just gonna assume everyone here is heterosexual. Obviously, we didn't even get into the homosexual side of the conversation, that how their relationship would even work, because we're not experts on that. We're not practicing that, anybody here, just for the record. So everybody, this has been a great episode. I appreciate having all of you guys on here. So we're gonna go round robin the same way we introduce ourselves, and you can give people your socials, what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? If you want to plug your business or your whatever podcast or YouTube, whatever you got going on, like, you can plug yourself, you know what I'm saying? And so Lee, go ahead, man.
Hello, name's Lee. I just work out a lot. If you follow me on Instagram, that's all you're gonna see is a bunch of those videos. For those who do follow me, I've gotten messages in the past. Why do you do all this shit? Because I fucking feel like it. That's why.
You do.
But yeah, follow me at Instagram. I'd love to see it, and always talk to me. Anybody, I don't care.
All right, and you can find him at y_me_damn_it. All right.
Yes.
Why me? Damn it. I'm crying.
Accuracy. That's what that is.
Hey, it's Shar here. My social media handle is Free Spirited Shar. I am a very independent woman, so I just registered my own social media agency. Bloop on that. That's the way my mother raised me, to be an independent woman. I always wanted to be a business owner, so I went ahead and did that. So that's what's up with me. Just waiting to get that paperwork back from the state. That's the newest development. You can follow me on Facebook.
Congrats.
All right, Mariah.
Well, my Instagram is LVE2_. I'm not doing much, so I just want to say thank you for inviting me. This was extremely fun, and I am so grateful to have been able to meet you all and be able to just be on this platform and sharing information and knowledge and speaking. It was nice.
It was a pleasure to have you. Frankie, what's good?
All right, guys, this is Frankie. You can find me here on the Homeroom with Smooth podcast, and also he just actually put out a new network. It's called the Academy. So go. He's have a plethora of different content over there. So you can catch me on there. I specialize in detention. So when I see something wrong and I just want to talk about it, you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at TypeXRose, because in my free time I take a lot of photos. And if you want photos that aren't related to roller coasters, it's at TypeX Media, type.x.media. and that's where I take more of my other portrait, landscape photos, and everything.
Awesome, Larry. What's good?
Hey, I really appreciate being on here. I really, really did. I always wanted to be on here for the fact that I'm finally on the episode. It's late in the background, so the two people that you're going to see, sometimes if I can't make it to another one's going to be her or my daughter. So just be wary. My social basically is just the most on IG is at it is at Covington_ambition 2015. Yeah, mostly you're gonna see, and you're gonna mostly see either workout. I'm working on trying to play the piano because I got a dream to go towards and going back into drawing. So you're gonna see either memes, music, or me working out and trying to become a boxer. So it's gonna be a lot of things. So all that, or you might see my wife and kids too, because I'm my wife's personal hype man when it comes to terms of her art, and my daughter's just just doing daughter shit. So
Awesome, dope. Appreciate you coming through, Dr. DL. Go ahead, my man.
So you can find me, you can on my website is www.dlphd.com. You can also find me at DL_PhD under Twitter and Instagram, although I don't do a lot of social media, right? I got a master's in journalism and maybe not like social media, but I do a podcast called Mama Lesson Number One. My mom passed away in October, and we was going to write a book together called Mama Lesson Number One. And so I decided to turn it into a podcast before I do it as my memoir. And so that's my podcast, Mama Lesson Number One. And you can find me at DL_PhD, although you won't be able to see anything anytime soon, but I'm going to get better at social media.
Good job. Yeah. Sorry about your mom.
Sorry for
Thank you.
I lost, not to caveat that with this, but I lost my dad like 3 weeks ago, so I'm just like,
wow.
I definitely feel you. Yeah, very rough. Like the pain, indescribable, but it's okay. It's people like y'all that keep me going, so I appreciate y'all. Anyway, let me put in my little plugs. Okay, where do I even start? So again, my name is Heather. You can follow me on Instagram at Heather_Levita. That's Levita. You can follow me at the same handle on Twitter. Actually, I think it's just Heather Levita. Yeah, it's just Heather, no underscore on that one. You can follow me on Snap at HJohns48. I know, weird. And then I do have a YouTube. It's also called Heather Levita. It's in the works. I don't normally advertise it because it's just like not where I want it to be right now. But I think
put out content.
I just followed it right now.
And I'm gonna be annoying the whole time.
Yeah, Byron is like my biggest, like, he always pushes me to put out more content, and Larry does too. So thanks, y'all. But yeah, I'm working on that. It's just been I had so many like plans to like hit the road hard and like continue to be consistent in January, but my dad literally passed away on the 4th, and it just threw me off on everything. So it's coming. Y'all see some stuff. I'm trying to like work out a schedule that's gonna work for me, but know that there will be a video this weekend on 5 books that I'm reading to start off the year correctly. So so that'll be coming up. I also am planning on starting a travel blog, like an actual blog that you actually type, and then having some joint YouTube videos with that. And then hopefully, I don't know, I was thinking about doing a business too, but I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm trying not to like burn myself out. So, but yeah, follow me. I'll follow you back. Don't worry.
All right. So look, this has been episode 100 of the Homeroom with Smooth podcast. Yay! You can find the Homeroom with Smooth podcast on Homeroom with Smooth on YouTube, or you can find it on Homeroom with Smooth on Twitch. We also have a Facebook page. We got a TikTok. We got a Twitter. Like we're literally everywhere. And then also, as Frankie so eloquently put it, we also have the Academy, and the podcast is going up there as well. I'm playing catch up, so just bear with me. I gotta upload here and there, So just let me figure out my process, because I can't use my computer when I'm uploading, and that makes me sad. Yeah, because it takes a lot. Like once I get to uploading, it just takes everything. But anyway,
get a better
thank
computer.
y'all for I need to get another computer. That's what I need to do, so I can have one for creating content and one for uploading. So anyway, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being a part of this. Thank y'all, this amazing panel, for staying up with me. It's like we're almost at 2 hours. Thank y'all.
Thank you for listening to it,
y'all,
because we're on iTunes.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank y'all for listening. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever.
That's such a big deal. I love that.
All streaming platforms. Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
All right.
Good job.
We'll catch y'all later. We out as soon as I find it.
Yeah.